Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Titan Quest 2. Now, as most of you know, my favorite game is Last Epoch. We also play some Torchlight, we play some Diablo, we play some Dwarven Realms, and I'm hoping to add 2 games to my rotation. Path of Exile 2 and the highly anticipated from me, I've been waiting a decade, Titan Quest 2. And there is a new The Road to Gameplay post which we're going to read through today, and this really does answer a lot of questions I have had over the last year, and we're just going to jump right into it. Titan Quest 2 Road to Gameplay. One of the most common points of feedback we've been getting from our community is that you want to see gameplay. I have been screaming at the top of my digital lungs here, just show us something, give us 10 seconds, give us anything, because then you can look at the visuals, you can get the movement, you could see combat, you could feel the impact, you could see the UI. So much we'll show you from gameplay, which we haven't seen. You won't have to wait much longer. Tune in to the THQ Nordic Showcase on August 2nd to see the first Titan Quest 2 gameplay trailer. But wait, there's more. You'll be able to play Titan Quest 2 at Gamescom August 21st. Now, what I really would have liked to see here, okay, and maybe that's still coming, is to check out the first Titan Quest 2 gameplay trailer and the date for release. I'm hoping at the end of that gameplay trailer, it pops up Titan Quest 2, and then, you know, like the little date comes into focus, and it says when we're getting it. It is said coming soon on Steam for a year. And it's supposed to release end of this year. And when I say release, I'm guessing release into early access. But anyways, this is a fairly long post. I'm going to try and go through it as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, a lot of this is reading, but I'll do my best to skip the parts that aren't as important. Before getting to the meat of today's article, we wanted to offer more clarity about what kind of ARPG gameplay Titan Quest 2 offers, and that is deeply rooted in the original Titan Quest 2 offered. Now, in a nutshell, I'm not going to read all this. The game will have co-op parties, so obviously it'll be multiplayer, just like it was previously. You are going to have enemy types, so you'll have swarm enemies where there's a bunch of them, but you can kill them easily, or difficult enemies, or defensive enemies, or enemies you got to strategize for. They are calling this a classical action RPG, and that it should feel like the original. Okay, so far, so good. Here we go. Looting, items, and character styles. This is what I really want to talk about today. Moving on to the main part of the update. Let's go into more detail on how the item system works and show off some examples. Since Titan Quest 2 is a classic style ARPG, this is more a traditional action RPG. Think Torchlight 2, think original Titan Quest, think Diablo 2. Looting and character scales via items are the heart of the game. Different locations have assigned level, the level scale, enemy stats, as well as those on the items looted. Therefore, progressing further in the game or raising the difficulty level are both directly rewarding with better loot. This level scales enemy stats as well as those of the items looted. Item level is going to really matter. Here we go. To start with, we're offering the following equipment types. One-handed weapons, swords, spears, daggers. Two-handed weapons, axes, bows, staves. Offhand items, shields, armors, helmets, shoulder guards, capes, bracers, leg guards, torso and armors. Jewelry, 2 rings, amulet, potions, health potion, and energy potion. And as you can see here, it shows obviously a character dual wielding. So you're going to have lots of options. And of course, for the spellcasters out there, yes, there's staves in the game. So you are going to be able to shoot fire and lightning and all that type of good stuff. As we continue, these weapons and armor come in 6 broad categories, which can be combined with masteries to create a wide variety of styles. These styles are determined by attributes, and there are 3 offensive character attributes, a supporting defensive attribute, and 3 secondary attributes. Now, as we are reading through this, okay, you're going to have to strategize a little bit in combat. This is not going to be super zoom, at least not at first. You're going to have to pick your style and your gear of your character. You're also going to have to pick your attributes, build guides, character customization, personalizing your character. That is definitely going to happen in Titan Quest 2. I just love seeing how many different components are going to be in here. Okay, you've got might, good for powerful, aggressive play styles. Knowledge, a more tactical, minded, perfectionist, or scholarly style. Unlock scale or utility-related skill modifiers. Agility, simple, quick, reflexes. Vigor governs health and tenacity as well as overall capacity. Resolve, a secondary attribute fueled by your might. Cunning, pulling from knowledge, agility, and vigor. This is the secondary attribute that gives successful on both assassins with poison daggers and druids controlling the weather. Druids? Fitness, a combination of agility, might, and vigor. The obvious advantage for anyone who wants to deliver physical pain. All right, tons of options. Attributes and secondaries together create a highly flexible system that allows for you to, for example, to split your attribute points across 2 offensive attributes, thus focusing on damage types they both contribute to and enabling gear and unlocks for both attributes. Of course, you can choose to focus on just one attribute for high values in its related damage traits and rush for the modifiers unlocked there. But the choice on items may be narrower as a consequence. So what this is basically saying is that items in the game will have attribute requirements. So you'll find a sword and it'll say you got to have so much into might to have this sword. Or maybe you'll find an axe that's really good, but the axe requires might and agility, but you've put all your points into might, so now you can't use that. So you can go into one, you can go into many, but gear will have attribute requirements, okay? Which hopefully can be easily changed or respect, all right? Also, they talk about in here that potions are Path of Exile style. So Path of Exile, your potions, they refill based upon combat, and they have their own attributes as well. They're going to do that in Titan Quest 2, which is really funny because they're moving away from that in PoE 2. Rarities and affixes. Items in Titan Quest 2 are heavily defined by their rarity. A weapon style determines its base stats and properties, but the number of affixes differs based on rarity. So you have common, white, basically nothing. Magic 1 to 2 affixes, rare 3 to 4, infrequent. 2 to 4 affixes and have a special inherent property. Think of like a legendary aspect in D4, and then unique, completely custom properties. And in this, it just says that the uniques and the items are going to look really, really cool. And the items that you find will be determined based upon the area you're in. A lot of games have done this. So like if you're in a snowy area, maybe you find an ice sword, something like that. And at least, again, this is just, you know, a 2D image. If this even gets close to translating over to the 3D render, I mean, these look sweet. These look really, really sweet. Where it all goes. Okay, that's a lot of items. And you want to have your cake and eat it too. As people that love action RPGs, we need a place to store our loot. We get it. Cake is great. So in the caravan system, our works similar to the original Titan Quest, but we heard you. We need a lot more space. Buying chests will act as a bit of an in-game gold sink. No real money, of course, required. We don't do that here. There's no limit to how many chests you can have. They will all work on a cross-character level, although we plan to provide a self-found mode as well. So right off the bat, in-game gold will be used for storage with an unlimited amount that is across all your characters. Shared stash. A lot like last Epoch, but of course they're going to provide a solo self-found mode. Organize your chests with icons, colors, and names, and you'll have plenty, and you'll have a pretty solid setup, we think. That is all we have for now. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts when you see Titan Quest 2. So, man, that's a lot. Like, we actually went through it pretty quick. Loot. The items look awesome. Just right off the bat, I'm guessing these are the designs for the uniques. They look pretty awesome. Storage sounds just like Last Epoch. I am all for it. Affixes and the way they're broken down, very simple to understand. We got to see what colors they are using for this. Common, magic, rare, infrequent, unique. Very simple. I like that. Attributes. So this is going to take some time to get used to and see what play style really works with what. Weapons feel really good. I'm kind of hoping that maybe in the future for one-handed weapons, they add wands or some kind of... No, wands make more sense. So that you can have a shield in one hand or a wand in the other. But for the most part, gear looks really good. Combat pillars. We didn't read through this. I just told you it's basically like the original Titan Quest. And all in all, the roadmap to gameplay is August 2nd. Now, August 2nd, I will be streaming the THQ Nordic Showcase live. So you can come to my Twitch channel, Aaron Action RPG, if you want to view it there. And we'll just be doing a live reaction. I mean, we have been waiting a year to see this gameplay, and just fingers are crossed that it blows us away. When we first saw, or I should speak for myself, when I first saw the PoE2 gameplay, I'm like, strafing, WASD movement, the visuals, the combat, the impact. I mean, it truly was a wow factor. I love it when people like, are you sure we're watching gameplay or is that a cinematic? When that is people's reaction, you have done a great job. So let's hope that THQ Nordic and Titan Quest 2 blows us away. We now have the framework for the entire game. That's the video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you think I have earned it. Check out Patreon. It is the best way to support into the future. You get content only available to Patreon. You get the VIP lounge, movie night, game night. Game night is coming up this Friday night. We're going to be playing V Rising and Last Epoch. Please join the Discord, approaching 4,300 members. It is a great place to hang out for all things action RPG. I'm done. Hopefully you're entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.